What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Locked In Sports Podcast. I'm William Locke, and joining me for this very special prop picks, stat awards, playoff predictions, kind of extravaganza podcast is Luis Barranco. Luis, how you doing?
Sorry, guys. I know. All you guys are going to be very mad at me because we did say we were going to start at 8:00, and it is 8:30 as we speak. Miami traffic is kind of nutty out here. Just blame it on Miami traffic. I know, a bunch of potholes. I sound like Armand. If you know anything about our buddy Armand's like, this man Armand literally is the type of dude that showed up late to our buddy's birthday party. We were in high school, and we all were going to meet up at a wing joint back home, and everybody's there. Like, it's all the boys. It's like, I think it was like 8 or 9 of us. We're all there eating the wings. And I'm like, dude, where's Armand? No response. We then get a message sent to our group chat of Armand literally with because his dad drives a convertible. Armand did not have a car at this point. Armand had his because Armand is a big polo t-shirt guy. Big polo t-shirt guy. He was literally like, oh yeah, guys, I was washing my shirt. And like, we're all like, dude, don't you have like another shirt? He was literally drawing the shirt, holding it up in the air. And that was the picture of him holding the shirt up in the air, drawing it as his father was driving him to the wing joint. Because we were going to the movies. We were going to go see Wolverine that night. Hugh Jackman.
So that was you today. Sorry for the late start. It's not a big deal. It's only like 10, 15 minutes. It's no worries.
It's 30 minutes at this point.
I mean, Miami traffic is rough, so I understand.
You understand? I feel so lazy. I feel very happy that you do understand that. I know it's freezing. I know it's freezing up there. Yeah,
it's okay. Life happens. This is a fun pod. I'm excited. We've previewed every single team, every single division, given our division winner picks, but we haven't gone into kind of player predictions and also, what we actually think is going to happen at the end of the season, who's going to come home with the trophy, who's going to make the playoffs, who's going to get to the World Series. So should be fun to kind of hash through really the rest of the season on this podcast and hopefully give you guys some good prop picks, some good award bets that we like. Now, obviously, as you always say, we do not condone betting. We want you to make sure that you're doing this legally. Do not take any of this as gambling advice because we're not professionals. These are just, picks we kind of like. And don't loan $4.5 million to a guy that, may or may not be your interpreter and who knows, don't do it legally if you're going to be doing it.
I would recommend you finding having a friend that's a financial advisor or somebody that's in the finance that can help you manage your money. I feel that's a great idea for you to do. Like, just do that.
Just do that.
Why don't we just start off the pod with that? I mean, are you surprised about yesterday? What did I text you on Sunday? Well, I think it was Sunday or Saturday we spoke about it. Oh, that you said, oh, Tony's going to speak to the media. And I'm like, what is he going to say? Like, everything's going to be like, at this point, they should have just had a freaking teleprompter in the back of him just reading off. Like, are we surprised?
Well, I'm not surprised that it was a prepared statement. And I wasn't surprised that he didn't take questions because it is an ongoing legal matter. I thought he did a good job of conveying emotion. Even if he was speaking through a translator, you could tell that he was emotional, that he was upset, and he felt betrayed. I'm going to take him at his word.
So you actually watched it. You actually took the time out of your day to watch his interview.
Yes.
Because I did not. And I'm not saying that I'm not like studying baseball or like not on the pod. It's just like, what are we going to expect? Hey, at least he didn't run to another foreign country when he got these allegations.
Well, that would have been, the tell-all.
To a foreign country where he can't get extradited.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that it was prepared, but I thought he did a good job of getting his point across. I'll be, curious to see if he speaks to the media again throughout the course of the season, like he just did. His translator seemed nervous. I'll tell you that right now. That was definitely the biggest public speaking event that his translator's ever done.
He got a new one, right?
Yeah, new guy. I don't know his name, but hopefully, he actually has worked at the places that are listed on his resume, unlike Ipe, who is
It's
lying
just
about his resume as well. I mean, this story is getting crazy.
it's weird. It's bro. That's like you and me. We've been friends since like that'd be you and me like if I were just to take 4 million out of your bank account. I'm not saying that you have 4 million. Hey, you may do. I don't know how much you make. I don't
No,
know, but it's
I,
just like
I wish I had 4 million in my bank
the four
account.
million, just managing 4 million. Like, hey, I know how to invest. Look, I'm not an investor, but I do have some investment advice that I might do myself. But hey, that's why there's professionals. You should have gotten a professional, man. Don't you know those guys on Instagram that like preach to you, hey, come join my Discord, my Patreon for $5 a month and go on my bets. Like 4.5 million is a lot of money.
That's my thing. It's like, how bad can you be at gambling to lose that much money? And if you're investing that much money in it, you can afford to like buy these professional gamblers that sell their picks on Patreon or whatever gambling website. Like he could have easily done that. And those guys, if they have a down month or a few down days, like they still make profit year over year, generally speaking. It's obviously a tough industry to get into, but those guys generally make profit. And it would make so like you're not losing
Why
$4.5 million
why
betting with a
why why
professional.
bet why bet on sports? Why don't you just bet on the stock market? I feel like that's more fun. Just bet on
And it's safer. It's a lot safer too.
I
If you
mean,
just invest in the market, the S&P 500 as a whole, it has gone up over the course of time. Maybe if you get into like day trading and buying individual stocks, then you can get screwed.
that's
But there are very safe ways to invest in the stock market for sure.
but just investing into day trading, like in the stocks. I read a statistic, and I'm not condoning. I'm convincing for you to go to your financial advisor or a buddy that you have a finance guy. Everybody has a finance friend. The guy you just go up and you just talk shop and finance guy. Just go talk to him. I know there's a lot. Hey, what's that guy's name on CNBC? He's always on my gym. Like I'm always at the gym,
Uh,
and he's always on
no,
Mad Money.
Kramer,
Yeah,
Mad Money
Kramer.
Kramer. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jim Kramer,
Kramer's
I think.
always, yeah. I read a stat that if you would have invested like all the money, and I said this when Armand was when you guys were in town a couple weeks ago, if you would have invested, like if you bought an iPhone from the first iPhone, the inception, if you would have instead taken that money that you spent on buying an iPhone every year, the new model, and invested it into Apple stock, I think you would have like a couple million or $1 billion, like is what I read the stock. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's just way
Yeah.
smarter things for you to do than to I don't want to say, hey, there's a thrill. Hey, I don't sports bet because I don't like losing. But there is a thrill, and there's a thrill about going to the casino and putting all the money on black and just going for it. Because when
And
you go black and you win, it's crazy. Like it's absolutely ridiculous.
yeah, and I can see why people get addicted to it and why it is very dangerous and why you have to be careful.
There's movies about it.
Yeah.
There's what's his name? What's the guy who got I think he was charged. Um, he was on House of Cards.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Kevin Spacey? Is that his
Yeah.
name? Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he did the whole 21 movie. There's the Ben Affleck and Justin Timberlake movie when they're out in Costa Rica, and the girl gets involved, the redhead. Um, and then what's the other movie? Betting. There's another like betting movie, like super popular. Well,
Ocean's 11.
well, Hangover is about it, bro. That's what's gonna happen. Like in the next 10 years, if Hollywood's smart, maybe we tell Armand because Armand has a minor in cinema. Maybe he writes a whole script of just a movie about sports betting. Because hey,
I think it would be interesting.
I think it would no like a comedy or something like that. Ocean's 11 comedy, like I think that thing was. Well, I mean, we do have it. It was what's his name? Adam Sandler was in it with that
Oh,
girl, Julia
Uncut
Fox.
Gems. Uncut Gems.
The A24 movie, that one, yeah. That was like when KG is like, oh, I'm betting on the Celtics, and then he gets shot at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert, I just spoiled the movie. He gets shot at the end.
I will say I do feel like the whole sports betting thing is kind of coming to a head, and it's so prevalent in our lives. I mean, ESPN is forcing it down our throats, and like
What's crazy though? Now that you do that,
what?
you remember what you said last week? I think it was in the what pod did we do? We did the not the West, but we did the NL East pod.
What did I say?
That it's just a matter of time that in the next 5 to 10 years, we find out some player has been betting on his own games and a huge scandal is going to come out. And guess what happened yesterday?
Yeah, the Raptors guy who I've
Monte
never
Porter.
heard of.
No, well, he's Michael Porter Jr.'s brother. They both went to
And
Missouri. He played on the Grizzlies.
and they were investigating like irregular trends with his prop bets, and everyone, like, there was large numbers on his under. Very sketchy, and like it is concerning how prevalent this is, or how like tied into sports this is getting.
You do have to dedicate that man's hustle. Like for him just to like start the game and be like, "Oh, my eye hurts," and then he re-aggravated his eye injury.
I just don't know how he thought he was going to get away with that.
Bro, that's like going to a doctor. That's like you inflicting harm on yourself and being like, "Yeah, doctor, I cut myself. I need pain medication now." That's like kind of the equivalent, like inflicting it. It's crazy. I mean, props to him, dedication. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about prop bets, MLB baseball. I know you got 5. I have a couple I've looked at. It's going to be a very interesting year, honestly. I mean, this year is another year where where it's the second year of the new rules, the pizza box bases, as Alex Cora would say, pizza box bases, and pitch clock. So I kind of feel like a lot of players and pitchers have adjusted, and I feel like manager trends have changed throughout the years, throughout this year and last year. Some teams are more aggressive towards stealing, as we see Arizona, the Reds are 2 of the biggest thieves in the league. And other teams just don't want to run. They're just like, cool, we're just cool. But I feel like that'll change. I feel like there'll be more enhanced speed, stolen bases, than power, new faces in new places. Some people are in better hitter-friendly parks. And as JD Martinez said, why he did not go to San Francisco, he's like, I just don't like that ballpark.
Yeah, totally.
And who blames him? Who blames him? That ballpark is awful as a hitter.
Yeah.
Oracle is awful. Like that big wall out to right, only the Barry can hit Splash Mountain. It's not Splash Mountain, that's a Disneyland.
McCovey Cove.
But they had the Splash Zone, the Levi Splash Zone.
Yes, as well. Of course, they had to get a corporate sponsor in there for it. It wouldn't be America if they didn't have one.
Hey, America's getting everything sponsored. At least we're not as bad as European soccer, but we're getting there. Yesterday, I noticed on I was watching an NBA game. I think it was yesterday or Sunday. I can't remember when, and I saw that the referee had an Emirates patch on.
That's NBA now.
Yeah, that's NBA. It's only a matter of time where we get the ball boy, and NCAA starts with it. I think NCAA will be the first ones to sell out. I feel
did you see how bad the Yankees played like the Mexican League team with Robinson Cano the other day, and their jerseys were, they had so many ads. They had ads on both pant legs. They had like 5 ads on the jersey. Look it up. It's on our Twitter.
He's a walking billboard.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous.
Hey, all I'm saying is it's only a matter of time where, like, I'm telling you, the NCAA is going to be the first team. Like, we're going to see the Michigan Wolverines coming out in their maize and blue with a domino patch on, like, a tramp stamp on the jersey.
I hope not.
Under that, or like local businesses. It's going to be like that real soon. It's going to be like University of Georgia representing mad driving. Mothers Against Drunk Driving real soon.
Jesus. All right, let's get into the props. Let's get into the prop picks. I'll go first.
What do you want to do? How do you select these props?
So I was just perusing DraftKings, not a sponsor.
You're not an addict either. Let's get that out of the way.
Not an addict. Very healthy, support healthy gambling. And I was doing some research, and I like looking at stats, looking at trends, and I was like, okay, these are some picks that I like. These are some picks that I think make sense. So I picked out 5. I'll give you the first one. The first pick I like is Anthony Santander under 27.5 home runs. Now, obviously, the trend or the lean as a bettor is you want to go over because it's more fun. I think Anthony Santander is going to go under 27.5. Why do I think that? Well, he had 33 in 2022. He had in 2023, he had 28. He had a 3 WAR and a 2.3 in 23 and a 2.3 WAR in 2022. Good player. The main reason that I think he's going to go under this year and go under a total that he's hit or the over on in the past 2 seasons is because the Orioles are so loaded in outfield right now. And I just feel like there's always the possibility of injury, and B, he struggled in spring training. Now he did hit 5 home runs in spring training, which is wild, but he only hit 200. I think if Anthony Santander or Cedric Mullins show any type of struggle or a prolonged slump this season, we're going to see those guys that we talked about on the last podcast that are kind of waiting in the wings step in and get a chance. So Anthony Santander, he played 153 games last year and 152 in 2022. I don't think he's going to get the extended run to continue playing, if he struggles in any way throughout this season. So, you have guys like Colton Cowser waiting in the wings, Heston Kjerstad. Those are kind of the 2 main guys. Connor Norby, Dylan Bevers. There's plenty of guys waiting that could take his spot.
Yeah.
So that's why I just think he might not get enough reps to get to that 28 this season. Also, he could get benched for a few. He might not play 150 something games when there's more guys ready to get some reps, even if they don't take his job full time. So that's more of a bet on. I just don't think he's going to get the extended playing time that he's gotten in the previous 2 seasons.
Yeah, and the whole thing is Colton had a great spring, and he made the opening day roster, and that's a big indicator for a team that sent Jackson to the minor leagues. I mean, it's a tough time out there in Baltimore right now, so we don't have to harp on it. I know people are very mad and angry about what's going on out there with the holiday thing, and I don't want to talk too much about the Baltimore situation. So, yeah,
they're loaded. Yep. I thought you were going to talk about the bridge.
Well, prayers out. Moment of silence. That's super sad.
Yeah, that was really sad. That was sad.
Yeah, it's going to screw up the whole supply line in the country, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very important bridge, and shout out to the workers that stopped the cars from. Shout outs. I sound like David Guetta in 2020.
Bro, he was in Miami this weekend I was talking to some people, and I know a couple people this weekend that went out to his show out here in Miami for music weekend.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say like it was very heroic of those construction workers to stop the cars from going on the bridge when they saw that the freighter was gonna hit the bridge. So that's all I was gonna say. And all right, what's your first prop pick?
I just looked this one up and I love it, and I like the value on it. It's will Freddie Freeman hit 350? And I'm saying yes at plus 180. So for $100 you bet, you win 180.
Okay, 350 you said.
Yes, he's at 321 right now, so he needs 29. Okay, and so if we look at his career in 2021, his last year in Atlanta, he hit 31 and 159. And then in 2019, he hit 38. Now everybody's like, "Whoa, that's a couple of years ago." Yes, those are 2 all-star years. Last year in LA, in his first full season in LA, he hit 29. And that was in a lineup with Mookie Betts, Will Smith, and Max Muncy. And you're adding Shohei Ohtani into the mix. And he's hitting right in that lineup. So I kind of feel like the protection and everything's just perfect for him to hit 29 homers.
Oh, what's the number? And what's the pick?
350. He's at 321. He needs 29 more.
Wait. Oh, to hit 350 career home runs this year. He's at 321. Yeah, he only need yeah. That's a good pick. And you get that plus money?
Yeah, plus money at plus 180. I mean,
okay,
the only downsides about it you can think of, it could be like, oh well, he's going to be in a stacked lineup and he'll get walked, but I kind of feel like that will work into his advantage. What?
We have breaking news, and it's a good one. Jordan Montgomery to the D-backs.
Well, we talked about it last year. We freaking talked about it. Oh boy.
Yeah.
We talked about it, and it's 1 year, $25 million with this vesting option for 25 for the second year. So the 2-year, $50 million signing, because if he pitches 10 games this year, which essentially he probably won't pitch in April, he'll probably pitch May, June, and they have a five-man rotation. That's 4 starts a month, so he just needs to pitch 2 months and a half of ball to get there.
And
Yeah,
D-backs are
man.
fun.
Well, I mean, they lost Erod, so
How long is he out?
he's on the IL. I don't know. I know he's starting the season out in the IL. That's what's going on. A lot of teams are now
Yeah.
scrambling because all these big guys like Sonny's out now. Verlander may start on the IL, likely to start on the IL.
Ugh.
Erod's on the IL.
Yeah,
Those are
Erod.
on.
It's
Yeah.
a. I'm sorry. It's a lat strain for Erod. Shut down from throwing, and there's no timetable for his return. I hate when I hear no timetable. That's not good. So that's kind of that's insurance. But if he does come back healthy at some point this season, whew,
Well, that's
that
the thing.
rotation look.
I feel like the White. This only makes me feel like the White Sox fumble the bag because if the D-backs are out here throwing 25 M's right here, because if you prolong the contract, it's 25 times 7. Yeah, he's basically getting the Nola comp. Because if you do 7 years
Yeah,
times 25, it's 175. And Nola got 7 over 172, 176. So it's actually the same contract. So Arizona got desperate.
yeah. That tells me, but it's only a lat for Erod.
Yeah, but
Wow.
a lot can be tricky. You remember Severino had the lat and he was out for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it
those can
wasn't
linger for sure.
two
Those are hard to
years,
recover from.
2 years ago, right? It was in the 22 season, right?
I
The
can't
lat.
remember the year.
But I know he definitely had a lat. Severino had a lat and he didn't pitch for a good amount of time, good period of time.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
okay.
So back to what you were saying. I like it at plus 180. I don't know if you like that one. So
I agree. I think you can get that. I
I'm
think
looking
you can
for
get there.
with my props. I'm looking for value, man. I'm not looking like obviously. For example, I'm not going to bet on stuff like, for example, there's this one right now, Aaron Nola over 11 and a half wins at minus 115. I'm not
I
betting on
don't like, and I'll tell you, I don't like betting on pitcher futures because I feel like those are like they're so delicate as athletes, and they one little injury and they miss a start, and then if they miss one start, all of a sudden that's 5 to 10 days that they're not pitching, and they can fall behind in the leaderboards, and they can they might miss out on 8 to 10 strikeouts, which could miss their over. So it just feels like it's a lot more delicate with them because if they miss 1 or 2 starts, that's half a month. You know what
wow.
I'm saying?
That's a lot.
Okay, my next pick. This one might surprise you a little bit, but I'm gonna go with Pete Alonso to have more home runs than Aaron Judge minus 105.
I did see that one just now.
This is solely a health bet because if Aaron Judge stays healthy for the full season, he will have more home runs than Pete Alonso. Now the problem is Aaron Judge, generally speaking, struggles with health. I know last year was a freak injury and he had stayed relatively healthy for the previous couple seasons before that. But the general trend with Judge and him being such a massive human being is he can struggle with injury. Pete Alonso had 40 home runs last season. In his rookie season in 2019, he had 53, which led the league. Aaron Judge, he was injured last year. He only played 106 games and had 37 home runs. Obviously, he had the 62 in 2022, but he's only hit over 40 home runs twice in his career. Meanwhile, Pete Alonso has done it 3 times and had 37 in 2021. Also, Pete Alonso's in a contract year, and I just think he's gonna be wanting to. I mean, not that he always doesn't want to perform to his best of his abilities, but he's really going to have that extra incentive to go out and hit some bombs. So it's a bit of a health bet. It's a bet on Alonso being motivated for a contract year. So I'm gonna ride with Pete Alonso more home runs than Aaron Judge, which is kind of sacrilegious for me as a Yankee fan, but I like that pick.
So my next one I'm gonna take, and I'm betting also when I do these player props, I bet a lot on the player profile. Like, I'm betting on talent. And I'm looking at Fernando Tatis at regular season RBIs over 102 and a half. It's at
Okay.
plus 20, plus 105. My reasoning is so last year, we know he dealt with the whole scandal, the PED poppage last year, and he played 141. He dealt with a little bit of injury. He hit 78 and 141, but that's
Mhm.
without like spring training and, a new position. Uh,
Started like mid-April last year.
yeah, and it was his worst year batting average wise. He hit a 250, 257.
Yeah,
No,
we haven't really seen like a fully healthy 150, 160 game season from Tatis. The most he's played in 1 year is 141, and that was last season.
yeah, and then in 21 when he was playing short, where he was he was an All Star. He hit for 97 home runs and 130.
97 RBIs,
Yeah,
97 home runs.
oh, yeah, I did not mean that. No diddy.
The juice was working that year.
Yeah, well, I mean, 97 RBIs and 25 stolen bases in the pre like new rules, hitting 280, 282. And in his best year, where he hit 317 in 2019, he only hit for 53 and 84. So like let's extrapolate that. I totally think and this is a way better lineup, and I just think like, I'm betting on the talent wise on this guy. Like I really do. I really
Yeah,
think he's due for a good year, and he's playing a new position. He's kind of like in the same mold as Jazz Chisholm, where like we both love the talent profile, but the problem about his Jazz is like he's playing a brand new position where, and I can't stress this enough. It's like when you're playing somewhere you're not used to, like a lot of professional sports, in my belief, like I believe everybody is like I don't want to say equally as talented, but they're in the same like talent range. I'm saying
yes.
the talent doesn't like deviate. I just think it's just mental processing, one, and movement efficiency, two.
Okay.
Because these are already freak athletes that can bench, run, and jump. It's just how quick can you read a fastball, curveball like that, and how quick can you get from point A to point B? And you see it all the time. There's people that test in the NFL test awfully in the combine, but then when you see them, they're great. It's like Daniel Vogelbach. Does he look like a freaking athlete? No. But Daniel Vogelbach can probably go hit you 25, 30 home runs in the right lineup.
Yeah.
And I just feel
Yeah.
Tatis is just that good. I feel he's like a special talent. And I feel like he has a lot to prove. No Juan Soto in that lineup. I feel like there's more on him now.
And there's not a ton of buzz around the Padres and run him.
No,
Like last year when he was coming back, there was so much media scrutiny on the guy. It feels like there's just a lot less attention on that team now.
there
And
was a
maybe
rumor
he'll
that he would end up they were going to swap him for not Volpe, but wasn't it the rumor that it was going to be like Stanton for Tatis? So there's a rumor that they were going to ship him to New York. That New York was going to eat the money. The
yeah,
Yankees,
he's been floated around in trade things. But I think it'll be a good season for him to just kind of get his feet
and he's
under himself.
quiet.
And
He's quiet. I feel like that's also for these. Like I kind of feel like I think of baseball is one of those sports, especially when you talk. It's not as like because a lot of the traditionalists don't like when you speak in baseball. And I kind of feel like you point a X on your back. And I kind of feel like him being quiet, working on the game, playing outfield, and like dude has a cannon of an arm. Like I
yeah,
can really see him being like gold glove defender. Like he's just
yeah,
that athletic.
yeah.
Give
I'm
me that.
excited to watch him this year. I'm excited.
Give me that.
All right, my next pick, similar player profile, I'd say. Julio Rodriguez, over 32 and a half stolen bases. He had 37 last year. This is a guy that ranks in the 96th percentile in sprint speed. Um, and I just think, first of all, last year he had 27 or 37, like I said, and he struggled mightily in the first half of the season. And really turned it on after the All-Star break, after the trade deadline. And I just think if he can put together a full season, I mean, I think he can get to 40, 45 stolen bases. He's one of the best talents in the league. And I'm not gonna rain on or spoil some later picks, but I like him for some picks later. I think he and the Mariners are gonna have a big season.
Dude.
And I think I would almost go on to say it's a lock if he stays healthy. And he played 155 last year, 132 in 2022. If he stays healthy, he will hit this uh, with ease.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be easy money. You want
Yep.
another easy? You want more free money?
Let's hear it.
Shohei Ohtani 30-30 season at plus 500.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
He's not pitching this year,
Yes.
so he's just exclusively a DH. Maybe outfield. It's been lingered. Maybe he bet on it. If maybe Epi bet on this as well. It's plus 500.
So he had 20 last season for reference.
Yeah,
26 in 2021.
yeah, but the power is there. We know he's going to easily get the 30.
Yeah.
It's just the stolen bases where in 21 he went 26 and in 2023 he hit 20. So yeah, definitely give me those stolen bases. I totally think he's going to reach it. I think in the Korea series they had him running.
He
Like
ranks, yeah, he ranks in the 63rd percentile in sprint speed, but he's one of those guys that gets like situational stolen bases. Like he knows how to read the pitch if it's going to be in the dirt, or he will know if if an off speed pitch is coming. He knows like when to steal. He might not have blazing quickness, but he is sneaky fast. I will say, he
he
just is a
got
really
he
smart
got
player.
he got a stolen base last week. In the Korea series, it was just called back because of interference. And it was
Right.
just a straight steal in like his first AB, in one of the first ABs in the Wednesday game.
Yeah. So I like that pick as
I, I,
well.
I I like it. I feel like that's a good one. It's I mean maybe Epi bet on it. Who knows? You see, I wish it was like FPL and not Florida Power Light for our Florida listeners, because I'll give you a story. One time I was my Google Mail and I kept getting FPL messages and I'm like, oh, it's Fantasy Premier League. Like I don't need these. I don't need recaps. I already track it. And then I realized like, oh, I got to pay my light bill. And I realized, oh, where's my bill? And I realized it was in my trash because I trashed it thinking it was Fantasy Premier League.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think it's a good one because like when you look at the other guys for 30-30s, I know you're gonna talk about one. Bobby Witt, I don't think the power's there. Fernando, possibly, but San Diego's not a great park to be. Like he doesn't play in many like. He has like okay, he plays in Colorado. That's a great park to hit homers. Dodger
Yeah,
Stadium, if you're a pull hitter, if you're a great pull hitter, it's great. Pulling it out to the line, awesome. But if you're hitting bombs out the center and left center and right center, it's kind of deeper. San Francisco, we don't need to talk about San Francisco.
yeah.
And Colorado's still a big park, so you got to have some juice to hit it out there, and not the juice that we're talking that he took, but some but just you got to have.
Oh boy.
And Arizona's not great either.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they're not easy ballparks. You could maybe sprinkle Kyle Tucker at 30-30 plus 380 maybe. What you feeling on that one?
yeah. He was close last year, I think. So,
Contract year as well.
yeah, is he a contract year guy, or I think he has like a year of ARB and then
Something like that.
free agent. But he's like rumored right now to be one of the guys that they're trying to give an extension to.
He was one homer off last season. I think that is free money, boys and girls, if girls do listen. Ladies, not girls, ladies and men and ladies, men and gentlemen,
Yeah,
gentlemen, ladies. Yeah. Yeah. Plus 380. I think that's really good number. And like Houston did not change anything in that lineup.
no,
And Altuve is healthy. Because remember, Altuve last year missed the first, was it 8 weeks, because we saw him get hit in the hand in the
yeah,
WBC in the first game.
yeah. That game we were at. Yep. All right, my
But
next pick.
how you feel? No, before that, how you feeling at plus 380? Kyle Tucker.
That's really good. I mean, if he was a home run away last season, those are good odds. I like him.
He was 29 and 30. And then the year before that, he got 30 home runs and 25 stolen bases without the pizza box bases.
He's been flirting with it.
Yeah, he's been there, and it's due. But I mean, looking numbers wise, in 22, he hit 257. It was his worst year batting average wise.
Yeah, and he is
And
still.
he still raked in 30 homers, 107 RBIs, and 25 stolen bases. And his on base percentage that year was also pretty poor at 330. I'm not counting the COVID year and the 2 years that he played 20 games.
Yeah, he's a great player, great talent. Okay, my next pick, Trey Turner over 100 and or yeah, sorry. Trey Turner over 175.5 hits. So he had last year 170 hits in his first season in Philly, which was the worst batting average of his career. He struggled mightily. We all remember the standing ovation that he got from the Phillies fans later in the season that kind of helped turn his season around. This is kind of a slap in the face to him, I think. He had 194 in 2022, led the league with 195 in 2021. 2019, he got injured. 2018, he played all 162 games and had 180 hits. And then the previous 2 seasons, he was injured. Remember the narrative on Turner early in his career was that he was always hurt, and then he finally stayed healthy, won a World Series, went over to LA, played 160 games, had 194 hits. Last year had one of the worst, probably the worst statistical season of his career, and still had 170, which was 6 short of this over. So I think second season in Philly, he's going to be reacclimated. He's going to feel comfortable in the city. They went on a deep run last year, didn't quite make the World Series, but they're going to come out firing. And I think he's going to get this over 175 hits for Trey Turner. If he stays healthy, I think it's a lock.
You forgot a healthy Harper as well. A season healthy Harper, more protection in that lineup. So yeah, give me that.
Good vibes in Philly right now.
I mean, electric. I mean, I feel like they're one to watch. I mean, you can't do that. It's. I really don't have any more that I like. A lot of them just cheated for me. I've been watching Austin Riley ones. Big fan of the Austin Riley. If we ever get to meet Austin Riley, I feel like we should just give him a call because I feel like we've been pumping his name for the past 2.5 years. Like
Austin give him Riley. A what?
Like the pod.
Oh yeah,
we've been on the Austin Riley train. I feel like that stock is crazy.
We should try to get him on the pod.
That would be electric.
I'll DM him.
Oh, DM him?
I'll shoot him a DM. Why not? Why not try it?
Hey, I do it sometimes with Instagram models. So not all Instagram models. I don't do that. I've done it once. I do it. You see, I don't DM women, but I've done it twice, and then both times.
All of a sudden, I went from 1 to 2 in like the span of 3 seconds.
I've done it twice in like how many years of me having Instagram? God knows how many. Yeah. Hey, some dudes just literally like do it like it's like Tinder or Hinge. Like it's like crack. It's like let's go shoot our shots.
Okay, I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more
because I don't because you see the pitchers ones aren't great. And I mean, I don't like doing hits. I like RBIs. I mean, Aaron Judge is so it's like I see all these Aaron Judge props, but Aaron Judge, like we're already seeing in camp that they're already like putting him on like restriction at spring training.
Yeah, he had the abdomen thing.
So like we're literally gonna have this guy on restriction in the summertime. Like he's not gonna play a Sunday or a Wednesday game or something like that. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, in New York, the only thing that matters is playoffs.
You got to get there first, but yes.
And on that note, did you see Baseball Reference's projections?
Yeah, diabolical. What, they had the Yankees at 90 losses?
No, they had them at 82, I believe. 82 losses, 78 and 82.
That's just disrespectful. That's ridiculous. I think it was because they were basing their predictions off the last 100 games the Yankees played when they were obviously terrible.
They had nobody. But I mean, it's not great that you already have DJ LeMahieu and you let Jordan Montgomery walk for $25 million.
Yeah.
I could totally see Yankees putting up a $23-24 million offer and Jordan Montgomery just like screw you all, like despite them, like ex-girlfriend type thing, We'll
see. I don't know. We'll see as more info comes out. My last pick, Ellie De La Cruz, 30-30 season. I wouldn't bet this, but it is 400 plus 400. In 98 games last year, he had 13 home runs and 35 stolen bases. The stolen bases are a lock. It's just a matter of is he going to hit the ball enough? Like, is he not going to strike out? What was his strikeout percentage? 33% of the time.
144 strikeouts in 98 games. That's almost close to 2 strikeouts a game.
Yes,
They have,
very,
1.5.
very bad, very bad. So if he can, I mean, we saw him in spring training kind of tone down his swing a lot, and I like that. If he can just like he has the easy power to get to 30. It's just a matter of if he's his pitch recognition. So plus 400, it's worth a little sprinkle, I think.
He reminds me a lot of like how like these young hitters now are like Judge. I remember watching Judge with the Baby Bombers. Like that dude was like he's like a dog. Judge, like in his early years, he was like a dog looking at a mirror. And he's like, "Oh my god, I have a friend. I can go say hi." Every time like he would go touch the other dog, it's a mirror. And that was Judge literally swinging at things low, at breaking balls low, sliders low, everything that was getting thrown low in the dirt. Like he was swinging for air. Like I would feel the air raft coming up to the second deck of Yankee Stadium. Like
Yeah,
I could have
the sliders away killed him early on in his career.
with my freaking all you can eat chicken dinner basket that the Yankee Stadium was like $20. It's like I don't know, chicken dinner's like, bro, we gotta go. We gotta go to Yankee State. Like it should be Yankee Stadium, Oakland, and maybe Boston. Like I'm cool with Boston. Like I don't like. I feel like Yankee Stadium is a food connoisseur experience.
Yeah, you're gonna go bankrupt buying all of it, but yes.
Hey, but it's food. It's good for the soul.
Okay, let's move in to our stat leaders.
Run through
For
your run
this
through your
season.
ALs. Run through
Well,
your
I'll run
ALs.
through them. We can go a little bit quicker on these.
Yeah.
So we did 5 categories: home runs, batting title, which is the average batting average leader, stolen bases, strikeouts, and ERA. So 3 offensive, 2 pitching. And I'm going home runs. I'm going Yordan Alvarez. Um, I think it's a matter of time before he leads the league in home runs, the American League. He had 31 in 114 games last year, battled injury. Batting title, this might surprise some people for the American League, but I'm going to go with Julio Rodriguez. I, again, will refrain from adding further context to Julio because I have him and another pick coming down the pipeline here. Stolen bases, I'm going Bobby Witt Jr. He was in the top 4 last year. He had 49 last season. The only person in the American League that was above him was Esterio Ruiz with 67. I worry about Esterio Ruiz being able to get on base to get that many again. And he plays for a horrible team. So give me Bobby Witt with 49. And then also I was going to say the leading batting average guy last year in the American League was Corey Seager, who hit 327. And J-Rod was like fifth or sixth in the he's down to 31 in the league. He had 275. I think he has a big average season in him. And then strikeouts, I'm going Corbin Burns, and ERA, I'm going Corbin Burns, which is a bit of foreshadowing, but I think he's going to have a great season in Camden Yards with the deep wall in left field.
Yeah.
And tough division, but I think he's going to just contract year guy. He's going to shove for them.
Home runs, I agree with you with Jordan. Batting title, I got Julio. Stolen bases, I got Julio. Julio second half Julio last year, man. Like Julio last year, his season doesn't get enough credit for what he did. He went on an insane tear in the second half. I know that it will go in infamy because you sabotaged me from getting Julio from Joe. If I would have had Julio, I think I would have made a run at the title last year in fantasy baseball.
I'm not going to comment.
No comment. Are you gonna hold? Are you gonna be quiet? Or I say,
Well,
there's a lot of things in our
the
fantasy
trade was
baseball.
not fair. You were taking advantage of Joe not paying
I
attention.
was not taking advantage of Joe. Joe literally was getting a great negotiation trade. I was giving him Mike Trout. It is not my fault that Mike Trout did not come back for the rest of the year. Or came back for like 2 games.
You knew he wasn't going to come back.
I don't know. I'm a betting man. I sell stock.
Uh-huh. And
I don't.
J-Rod's second half last year, 308 average with 19 home runs and 15 stolen bases.
So it's 40-30. And that's without them being aggressive and anything. And I feel like Seattle's forward thinking. And Seattle's going to need to put runs because that offense is not great.
His August 429 average, 7 bombs, and 11 stolen bases. It was the August specifically where he just went nuclear.
He had the player of the month.
He has the talent, man. He has
He
the
was
talent.
He was player of the month. He was
And then
player of the month in August. I remember because MLB The Show card was absolutely nuclear.
yeah, what are your other two? Sorry.
Again, I'm going with the Seattle theme. I think Luis Castillo is going to be a strikeout genius again this year. I mean, just I feel like he's due. Like I'm waiting for him. Like he's in the top line of pitchers, but I feel like he's a star pitcher, but he can make that jump into superstar. Like I've always been a fan of his stuff. I feel like he had a great 2 years and year and a half in Seattle ever since. I kind of feel like it's time to like make that next leap into being a star. And I kind of
Totally.
feel like that's the whole deal with Seattle pitching staff with Kirby, Castillo, and Gilbert. That 1, 2, 3 is probably the best in baseball. Like nothing comes close to it.
Yeah, I had Castillo on my list and then I took him off. He had 219 strikeouts last year. It's a lot.
Yeah, he's good. He's a wizard. His changeup's ridiculous.
Yeah, he finished last season in strikeouts in the American League. He finished fourth behind Kevin Gossman, who's hurt right now.
Exactly.
Pablo Lopez and Garrett Cole, who's not going to be up there this year.
So. And I think Pablo Lopez comes back to earth.
So it's a good pick. I like that.
I think he comes back to earth. And then ERA, I'm just looking at George Kirby. I feel like he's due for the jump from Seattle.
I'm actually going to look at that pick strikeout leader. You can't bet on it per league, which is frustrating because if you bet on it, like you can only bet on it for the whole MLB. He's plus 3,000 to lead MLB in strikeouts.
He's at 195 over. 195 and a half is his line. I'm looking at it right now.
That's an over. I think he gets 200 if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move. National League.
Yeah, my NL. So I think Shohei's going to go ridiculous. And I mean, he pulls that ball. He's smart. He'll definitely pull the ball to left and right field.
As your home run leader.
Home run leader, yeah. He hit 40. He's hit like 30 and 40s with him pitching. Like, just imagine.
He might hit 50.
What's the record in the NL? Because Judge has a record in the AL.
No. Yeah. Sorry. Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds at like 70.
Oh, he's not getting that unless he's betting on it.
Barry Bonds had
that's 73.
73, yeah, in 2001.
Because McGuire and Sosa that summer of was it summer of 97 or 98? That they were just going bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. They made a whole movie about it, and I watched it, where Sosa and McGuire were going like boom, 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 back and forth, back and forth.
Bonds' baseball reference is just ridiculous.
I'm probably gonna look at it tonight when I'm in bed, crying that the day is over, and I have
if you want to just like be in awe, just go look at Barry Bonds' baseball reference page.
Could you imagine if we had Barry Bonds in the StatCast era?
Oh my gosh! Like his baseball savant page.
His whole savant page would be red. It would be absolutely red. Everything barrel ISO. Or could you just imagine Bonds playing in freaking New York or Wrigley in a hitter-friendly park? How many bombs would he like? Could you imagine that like short porch in New York?
Dude, I mean, he hit 762 in Pittsburgh and San Francisco. And San Francisco specifically is not easy. Just ridiculous. I mean, steroids obviously help.
No. Here's my argument. Steroids don't help. Yes, they make you bigger. But look, if I were to go and put some TRT, some testosterone plate, some therapy, go do some SARMs, go get juiced up and take steroids and performance enhancers and take some growth hormone, will that make me bigger? Yes, it will make me bigger. Okay? But will it give me the skill to actually hit a ball 400 feet out of the park? No, it is a skill to hit a baseball. That is why it's one of the hardest games. That's why some players literally flame out. Literally go watch on YouTube. What's that thing called? It was John Brinkus, Sports Science on ESPN. They literally did a whole segment with Mark Reynolds, who Mark Reynolds back in the 2010s was like 30, 25 home run guy with a bunch of strikeouts. First baseman, played in Colorado, played in Pittsburgh, Mark Reynolds. They literally had him do cricket in baseball. The reaction time compared to cricket was crazy. They threw a cricket ball to the guy, and every cricket ball that he hit was just bomb, 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 bomb,
Yeah.
bomb. Like he just had to slow his reaction time down, and he was just like, cool. Like, I'm just gonna nuke it. That's why I don't get like why, okay, yeah, Bonds cheated, but like who cares? Like it still takes a skill to actually hit a freaking baseball.
I agree. I agree. He had Hall of Fame level talent before he obviously started juicing. I just think, the steroids certainly helped later in his career
What do they help? What do they help?
longevity.
Just recovery. Oh, yeah. But don't you think steroids and what we have today in recovery with Normatex, ice baths, like with our buddy, whatchamacallit, the Huberman protocol, where Huberman has times to go like have 5 girlfriends or some shit, Like, don't you think like with those protocols you can do longevity? Like
That's so funny you're talking about that. Kayla was talking about the Huberman stuff because her favorite podcast was talking about it.
the Huberman pod, it was like a whole New York Post. Was it New York Times or Post? I don't know, but he's like, I don't get, okay, you increase longevity. Okay, I remember even Andy Pettit, when he got busted up, he said, oh, I did it just to get back on the field. Don't you think the technology that we have now and everything, that it's kind of like, it'd be a good study just to like analyze if steroids, and the new alternative therapies that we have now, cupping, like we know we've had chiropractors and acupuncture, but all those new therapies that have just risen up from a couple days ago, put them together and see like if there's a difference. Like freaking, we had a dude come back from an Achilles tear in 5 months, and Cam Akers. Cam Akers.
All right, whatever. Let's keep going. We're
getting
off track.
That's what I'm saying. But regardless, Shohei's gonna hit a bunch of nukes. Batting title against Luis Reyes. I think I hope I'm blessed that I will have a child, a male son, and I hope that like he will want to play baseball. Yeah, bro, it happens like that, bro. Haven't you heard like it's like? Haven't you heard like it's always like, oh, I want like a boy, and then they end up with all females.
Well, a lot of these athletes, but they're okay. Whatever. Keep going.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like
you want your son to hit like Luis Reyes.
No, I'm gonna make him watch like Project Erase. Like we're gonna make him watch like Project Mbappe. We're gonna be watching like I've been watching the Instagram where he does like only focuses on his upper half, just movement, just like hitting the ball, like his hitting techniques. He doesn't matter some Kiki hut. I'm like, holy crap, like some temple. It looks like somewhere out like movie like Japanese Karate Kid like temple where he's like just doing all the movements.
Okay.
Bro,
just go next. Stolen bases. I haven't seen it.
He was on Flirting with 400 last year.
I know. In June, and he ended up
on a bad Miami team.
Yeah, that's true.
On a bad Miami team, where what protection do you have in that lineup? If you put Luis Reyes in freaking like on the Dodgers, could you imagine? Or like put him on the Braves? Could you imagine how many like RBIs I would hit?
He might get to 400 in that lineup. Yeah.
No, can you imagine the RBIs he would hit?
Yeah, the ribbies too. Yeah, he'd probably take that leadoff spot. Yeah.
No, put him in the 4-hole. Screw Bun, putting him at the top, put him in the 4-hole, and just bring people in and put him behind Olsen. Put Acuna at first. Second, who am I putting second?
Probably Albies, and then third.
I'm a big fan
or you could put Riley second, third Olsen, and you just have the freaking murderers row 1 through 3 there, and then put him at 4 and just drive him in every time.
I would put Olsen out here. Acuna, Harris, Riley, Arrays, Olsen. And then you have Sean Murphy to worry about. Who's Look
what Mullenix said. Mullenix said joins chat.
Big shout out, Josh. But yeah, I'm definitely taking Arrays. And then stolen bases. CJ Abrams, my guy. CJ Abrams was an absolute. You had him on your fantasy team. Always been a fan of his profile. Been a speed guy. The biggest question has been, can he get on base? And second half of the season, he went crazy on base. He was going like nuclear. Like
47 stolen bases last year with a 300 OBP, which is poor. That's a bad OBP, and he still had 47.
he hit 245 as a batting average last year, and that's like with the front end that he was garbage. He struck out 118 times, and we saw that second half. I wish Baseball Reference would let you split it by season, by like half season. Like he would.
Yeah, you
actually,
can do. Fangraphs does it, but yeah,
yeah, I'm not
I
on
agree.
Fangraphs, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. He would be absolutely nuts. And I mean, he was actually high on the whatchamacallit, on the he's one of the breakout guys everybody's expecting to break out because he was on the like 40th on ADP on ESPN.
Yeah,
mean,
he was high on that fantasy draft list for sure.
Yeah, he's like I said, he could be one of those guys that we look at and we're like, oh my god, why didn't we not count him for a breakout? But like we could have seen it coming.
Yeah, he kind of broke out last year. All
Second
right.
half. You need to put a full. You got to put in a full season of work. It's in 162.
Yeah, I agree.
Strikeouts, Spencer Strider. This is probably the biggest block. Go take it to your local bookie, sports book, legal bookie. Don't be going to doing New Jersey bookies and overseers Bovada bets, 365 bets, Ivan Toney bets,
Otani bets.
No,
Too soon.
Use code SHOW for 10%.
Oh my god! Use code IPE at checkout for a 20% discount.
No, for a match a $100 deposit.
Match a $4.5 million deposit
with code SHOW. Bro, if FanDuel is smart, or DraftKings, or any sportsbook, even Underdog. I don't know if you guys have heard of Underdog.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Be like, we are paid on March 28th, 2024 is opening day of baseball. We're gonna match $4.5 million in bets for users. So use code SHOW to get matched up to $100, and we're matching up to $4.5 million in that day.
They get sued before they even drop the promo.
Why would he get sued? Why would they get sued?
What do you mean? Why would they get sued? Defamation.
Why? No, bro. It's SHOW. SHOW.
Sure.
You match 4.5. You imagine how many people you would pull in? Like, I think you would start a gambling pandemic in the country.
They'd also go out of business.
Not really. Can you imagine how many people would lose? That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about gambling. They use this to like rope you in, and once they rope you in, like you're screwed.
All right, let's keep it pushing here. It's already an hour in. We're not even close to finishing.
We're close. What are you talking about? We only have playoffs and picks. It's just a pick pot.
All right. Well, Who's your ERA leader?
Logan Webb. I mean, that defense is crazy. They got Great Wall of China defense out there with Matt Chapman now defending out there, and then they got what's his name call it? They're just a great defensive team. They've really done a good job in building more defenders, and they have one of the best pitch framers in the game, and Patrick Bailey in the backstop. And for Patrick Bailey to beat out Joey Bart, who is one of the top prospects in the system, who has a way better bat, you're doing something right with the pitch framing, big dog.
Yeah. All right. I'm going National League home run leader Pete Alonso, batting title Mookie Betts, stolen bases Acuna had like 70 something last year. I just don't think anybody beats him if he stays healthy.
He has that knee injury. That's the thing.
I know. I'm a little worried about that. That's why I said if he stays healthy. Strikeouts Spencer Strider. Like if he stays healthy the full year, it's not even going to be close. And then ERA. Like last year, Spencer Strider had 281 strikeouts. Second place was Kevin Gausman with 237. So this guy's just on a different level.
And he has a curveball
now. ERA, I'm going Logan Webb as well. Same point with the defense there in SF.
And it's a big bark. Chat, if you have anything to say, I know Josh, you're in the chat. If you have any questions, any suggestions, any like guys you think we're missing out, we're not touching on, let us know. We're open for discussion out here. Let's go on with the award picks. I feel like this is going to be a point of contention. I'm going to go with mine first because I feel like you're going to have a lot of questions on mine. Right. With my AL, my MVP is going to be Adley Rutschman. I think Baltimore's going to be the best team. I feel he is the what does most valuable player mean to you? To me, it means that you are the best player. You are the player that if you take that man out of that lineup, you see a huge drop off. Not only does he impact the game from a hitting perspective, but he impacts the game from the backstop. And
Yeah, he does.
I feel like catchers do not get enough valued for what they do from a pitcher relationship standpoints with the pitchers. He's one of the best in the game, one of the best defenders in the game. I expect Baltimore to be the best team in the AL. And I think he should get his plaudits. I understand there's other players that should get there, but I feel like he impacts the game more from a defensive standpoint than an outfielder would. Yes, an outfielder will save a run, but if you can manage a game, look what Yadier Molina did for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good pick. I mean, he's plus 1,500 on DraftKings. So it's not like super crazy. He was amazing last year. He's the best catcher in the league already at 26, whatever he is, 25. So it's not as crazy as it sounds. I like that pick.
Give me Cy Young, Corbin Burns, same reasons. I don't need to expand on what you said earlier. Contract year, best team. I feel like now that it'll be a bigger stage, he'll get more credit for what he does.
Yeah.
Rookie, give me Wyatt Langford. I feel like him hitting in that Texas lineup is going to be ridiculous. And the fact that there's no other rookies worth betting on in the AL because Jackson is in the Jackson is in the AL. No, in the minors. Sorry. Why did I say AL? In the minors.
Yeah, he's in the minors. Yeah.
And who else are you going to bet on? Unless somebody comes out of nowhere.
Evan Carter.
Evan Carter, but it's looking like he'll be on not hitting lefties. And then Junior Caminero, again, he's starting out the year in the minors. Pitching wise, there's not many pitchers in the AL. All the rookies are in the NL this year.
Totally.
My manager of the year is going to be AJ Hinch. I feel like they're going to win the division, and I think a lot of it's going to be through his tutelage and his direction. And then how can I bet against the best closer in the AL right now in Emmanuel Clase? I think Cleveland will be a middling team, but yet again, I do feel like they're an over 500 team, and I feel like he will be given the ball a lot.
Good picks. My MVP is Julio Rodriguez, plus 600 with the Mariners. I just think if he puts it together for a full season, he's one of the best players in the league, and he can absolutely an MVP is absolutely within his realm of capabilities. 30-30 season, 35 plus home runs, 300 plus average, great OPSs, great OBP. It's possible. I also like Mike Trout at plus 2,000, a little sprinkle. Still Mike Trout. It's kind of disrespectful. It's probably not going to happen, but he does have the talent to get it done. Juan Soto.
He's on the freaking Angels. What are you saying? He's on the freaking Angels.
Juan Soto plus 600 is possible. Aaron Judge, if he can stay healthy. And then Randy Arozarena is plus 10,000. I mean, he theoretically has the talent to do so. I don't know if he will, but.
You think he has the talent?
I think he has the talent to win an MVP, yeah.
I think he's too mercurial. Not mercurial in the bad sense. I think he's too hot and cold.
Yeah. He is a big game player to where it feels like maybe we see him in these big games and we overestimate him and we don't watch him as much day to day where he might struggle more. But I think he could do it. I don't think he will.
But you're betting on Mike Trout. You're sprinkling.
I'm not actually. I'm just saying sprinkle. It's Mike freaking Trout. Don't disrespect Mike Trout.
Oh, what has he done in the past 2 years instead of going to freaking Eagles games in October?
It wouldn't be a Locked In Sports podcast without you mentioning Mike Trout going to the Eagles games.
Bro, it's like NBC has an affection or they love putting Taylor Swift and Mike Trout. Those are the only two celebrities that exist for them. Freaking Snoop Dogg could be out in the freaking box in LA, but they won't post up Snoop Dogg. The Eminem was at the freaking Lions game in San Francisco, but no, they put a camera on Eminem? No. Oh, but
they did actually.
Yeah, but they did when they were playing at home versus the Rams, but not in SF. That's what I'm saying. The thing about it is betting on Mike Trout in 2024 is like betting Russell Westbrook. I feel like at this point for MVP.
Gosh, that's disrespectful.
Not this, but it's just like he plays on the Angels.
I know that is certainly a mitigating factor. That's why I said like it's worth a sprinkle. I wouldn't
He's
go out
he's
and put a lot of money on it. I mean, it's
he's
plus
the
2,000 for a reason.
he's the classic meme of the Bugatti in the trap house.
Yeah, yeah, and he needs to stay healthy. But I think he's gonna have a bounce back season. So MVP
I'm
is
very
within his
concerned
realm
about
of
the
capability.
I'm very concerned about the hamate injury.
Okay,
Look what it did to Benintendi. Was
Benintendi.
How was
Okay,
Benintendi after that injury with the Yankees?
not good. My Cy Young in the American League is also Corbin Burns. That's plus 800. I also like Grayson Rodriguez at plus 2,000 if he can put it together on the good Orioles team. It's possible. And Logan Gilbert, take your pick of one of the Seattle guys. Sprinkle on maybe him and Luis Castillo. I like all those.
Or even
Rookie, what?
or even Kirby, man. Like
Yeah, yeah. Any of those Seattle guys. Rookie, Wyatt Langford. I think that's kind of a lock. Like he's going to get consistent playing time. It looks like at DH, all of his teammates, coaches, the organization, there was in that athletic article, they're all speaking very highly about him right now. He's on my fantasy team. I just think he's gonna come out swinging. He'll struggle, obviously, but he's gonna be playing most of the season. So I think he's a good bet. And then my manager, I'm going Scott Service from the Mariners, who I just think the Mariners are going to have a good season, and we'll talk about them a little bit later. I also like Joe Espada, the Astros manager, and Matt Quatraro, the Royals manager. Royals could theoretically have a sneaky good season. So
what's AJ Hinch's odds?
I'll look. And then also my reliever of the year was Josh Hader with the Astros. I just think it's
I
kind
mean,
of a lock.
they have Presley there, so I kind of feel like they'll be splitting. But you try to swap Wyatt Langford for Carlos Rodon, Yankee for Ranger right now.
In fantasy, no. AJ Hinch is the favorite, by the way, at plus 550 for manager of the year.
He is? That's crazy.
Yeah, in Detroit. People like Detroit this year.
Bro, the people have been listening to the podcast and they love what I say about Detroit. I mean, I don't want to talk too much because your buddy on the fantasy league probably listening about this, and everything I say is probably putting it in a notebook and probably waiting to do the pickups on waiver claims or something like that. So from now on, I will not speak or hype any players because Cole Reagans was taken, O'Neal Cruz was taken, Spencer Torkelson was training like Riley Green. All of them were gone. All my picks were gone. I was like, what is this? It's like, is he getting fed information? And then Armand's like, bro, you literally talk about it on the podcast. Maybe you should stop doing that. And I'm like, bro, but it's my freaking job to talk about freaking baseball. Like, am I supposed to just dupe the freaking listeners?
No comment.
I'll go with oh yeah, of course. And there no investigation is going to start because you're the manager. You see, this is colluded. This is some interesting shit. Pause. NL. Give me MVP Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
I think he was the MVP last year. If a guy by the name of Ronald Acuna did not exist. I made the case out for him, and I always lost the case, but I feel like he just had an absurd year, and he already starting off hot. Cy Young, I think it's a lock. Another Spencer Strider, barring injury, Spencer Strider should win this award.
Yeah, it's a matter of time before he wins the Cy Young, right?
Yeah, I mean, and then give me. I wonder how much a contract of Strider is going to look like.
Oh my gosh!
You think the Braves are going to be able to pay him because they already have to pay Fried, and that's a big thing of contention this offseason that they're going to have to pay Fried.
Did they forego paying Fried? I mean, they gave him a 6-year, $75 million contract.
Who?
Strider through his age 30 season.
So he's on the Enron deal.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about that. He already re-signed.
It's on a locked in sports podcast, baseball podcast, without mentioning Atlanta Braves and Enron accounting.
Yeah. My gosh, man. How did they finesse that? Yamamoto's making way more than this guy. That's ridiculous.
And Yamamoto's garbage.
Okay. Keep going.
Jackson Churio, that's my guy. I have him in fantasy. I think
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. I've been watching Cape on him. I love it. He looks like a Acuna light.
Okay.
Acuna light. Manager, I'm getting the Mets manager, Carlos Mendoza. I feel like the Mets are going to have a nice year. They're going to surprise some people this year. I feel they're going to be the surprise of the NL. You can also put Skip Schumacher. Feel like they're going to get wins by that, but I feel like those are my two.
The only manager being marketed by his team as the guy to go watch baseball, to go to games.
the funniest thing was Kevin. I saw an ad today. Sorry that we're getting sidetracked so much today, but I saw an ad on Instagram, and Kevin Love comes up like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Skip? What you doing?" I was like, "Hey, man, you should come to the opening day game." I was like, "Oh yeah, I was planning to go to the Grove," and then Skip Schumacher says, "Skip it, pull up." I'm like, "Dog, like, can't you market like Jazz?" You know. Finally, reliever of the year, David Bednar. Again, sort of the same deal with Cleveland. He's a closer for Pittsburgh. I feel like he's the tried, tested, and true reliever for for the um, the Pirates, and he'll get it done.
All right, I like those. MVP, I'm going Mookie Betts as well, plus 650. I also like Trey Turner, Pete Alonso, Austin Riley. Austin Riley every year, bet MVP. And then don't bet this, Jazz Chisholm. I just wanted to put his odds on here. Is plus 14,000. Jesus. 140 to 1, I guess that would be.
That's
He
crazy.
said he thinks he can be an MVP. Cy Young, I'm going Tyler Glass now, plus 1,400, first season in Dodger blue. I also like Logan Webb, plus 950, and Max Fried, plus 1,300. Rookie of the year, I'm going to go Yamamoto at plus 260. I don't feel great about it.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
first
Oh,
part.
so now you don't feel great about it. Now you finally don't feel great about Yamamoto.
But I just don't think the competition, like there's so much hype around him. I think he's going to be better than Churio, although it's hard to compare pitchers and position players. But nonetheless, manager of the year, Bob Melvin from the Giants, plus 1,000. I think they're going to have a good season.
I
And
like that one.
I like their moves. I also like Derek Shelton, the Pirates manager. I just think they could have a sneaky good season. And then reliever of the year, I'm staying with the Giants. I'm going Camilo Doval, plus 1,000. I also like Justin Lawrence from the Rockies at plus 5,000, small sprinkle, and Adbert Alzolay plus 1,200 from the Cubs. They're going to be their closer. I like him a lot.
I got a question. What's the odds on crap, he just slipped my head. I
For
forgot he
who?
was manager.
For NL?
Yeah, he was an NL manager. I completely blanked. Not
Craig,
Mendoza.
Craig Counsell. You got Rob Thompson. You
Yeah,
got
what's Council's odds right now?
he's the favorite, plus 550.
Yeah, okay, that's what I meant. But I like Mendoza. Like I said, I think the Mets are going to surprise some people this year. Like I really
Yeah,
do.
that's a good. He's a rookie manager, but that's a good pick because they tend to go with teams that weren't expected to be great and kind of exceed expectations. So I like that pick. And Craig Counsell is like an established manager, so I don't know if
And
he's.
he has a lot of talent. I feel like the cupboard is pretty full. Also, I feel like Trio's a very good because I feel like Trio's going to keep the Brewers afloat a lot. I think he's exciting.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I think he's going to be a .TV team player. I think that I'm actually going to be interested in watching Brewers games this year.
it's like the first time in a while that the Brewers offense actually has someone fun to watch. I agree. Yeah.
And they got Yelich too, and I mean, the corpse of Yelich is not bad. Maybe Joey Ortiz is decent. I mean, the thing is with rookies is like I said, we always say this, but like 2 years ago, wasn't it like Michael Harris and Spencer Strider? They went back to back, and that's what crazy. Like nobody expected them to be that great. So take these with a grain of salt because there's usually one or two guys that come up. Like nobody expected Ellie to come up last year. Granted, I don't think if Ellie came up last year, he could have won. If he just last year's rookie of the year class was just absolutely absurd. That's the thing. Comparative to
Yeah.
like 2 years ago, where it was Jonathan India, which I mean, I'm no disrespect to Jonathan India. Jonathan India had a great year, but it's not it's not crazy. Yeah, Jonathan India was competing against Trevor Rogers, Dylan Carlson, Patrick Wisdom, Ian Anderson, Frank Schwindel, Tyler Stevenson, David Bednar, and Vladimir Gutierrez.
Yeah, and last year it was Corbin freaking Carroll and Gunnar Henderson.
The
So
past two
loaded.
seasons, has been a lot.
So much
AL,
young talent in the league, man.
AL had Julio, Adley, Quan, Witt, Pena, and Kirby. NL had Harris, Strider, Donovan, McCarthy, Diaz, Cruz, and Lodolo. All those guys are respectable starters. The only one that is on the fence is McCarthy, but I just and he's rumored to get moved. Yeah, so that's pretty nutty. But finally, let's get the predictions. I'll go with my playoff teams. I got the Astros winning the West, Orioles winning the East, and I got the Tigers winning the Central. I got the Yankees, Mariners, and Rangers winning the wild cards. Do we agree or do we digress?
My playoff team. So division winners, I have Astros, Orioles, and then Guardians. Wild cards, I have the Mariners, Yankees, and Rangers. Yeah.
So we
So we're
digress.
aligned except the AL Central.
Yeah, I'm not big on Toronto, and I just don't think there's enough juice in Tampa. Tampa had so much go right last year. They beat up on so many teams. NL, give me Atlanta winning the East, LA winning the West, and Cincy winning the Central. Um, Obviously, these are probably the easiest wild cards. Phillies, Giants, and Diamondbacks. I think the Padres have an outside shot. Padres and Cubs they're sneaking for the
So
NL.
we're the same except the NL Central again. I have the Braves, Dodgers, Cubs winning the divisions, and then Phillies, D-backs, and Giants as the wild cards. You could see like the Reds, the Padres, maybe the Mets battling for a position. Am I forgetting
Cubs.
somebody? Cubs, I have them winning. So,
I
yeah.
think our fan biases influence the Cubs and Reds.
Yeah, totally.
I think
Totally.
that's what happens. ALCS, we both agree. I'm looking at it. I have
We,
Astros over Mariners.
I
You
have
have
the Mariners over the Astros. I have the M's over the Astros.
I kind of have a last ride type of vibe with the Astros this year.
Last dance.
Yeah, last dance type of vibes. I don't think they'll be
Okay.
able to pay everybody. And then NLCS, taking the Braves over the Phillies. I think the Braves get over the hump.
Wow. The Dodgers don't even make it. I have the Phillies over the Dodgers.
Dodgers will be bounced out by one of the wild card teams.
There's a lot of distraction around that team already. So
A lot of distraction, a lot of things going wrong. Historically, teams that spend a lot don't really fare well at all. So
yep.
I just feel like the Braves get there, and then I got Braves over Astros redo.
I would love to see that series.
I would see, and I think
It'd be great.
look between in the NL, we can all agree the best starting pitching is probably the Braves and the Phillies. I just prefer the Braves lineup top to bottom, and I think like the Braves are just like they're due, like they're finally
Yeah.
put up, and then with the Astros over the Mariners, I get a last dance type of vibe. Pitching staffs, Seattle's better, but it's not like we're talking like a huge seismic gap. And obviously the Astros hitting over the water. You got Tucker, Altuve, Bregman, and Jordan.
Yeah.
And whatever they can get from the other guys is just going to be enough. And maybe if we finally get that jump from Pena. The Mariners are only really trotting out Julio, hoping a Haniger rebounce back, France bounce back, J.P. Crawford hitting. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm going with the Phillies over the M's in the World Series. They finally get over the hump and get that World Series.
And you have the Phillies beating the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. I said that, I think. Phillies over Dodgers in the NLCS, and then World Series Phillies over Mariners plus 16,000. So $5 wins you $805. That's on DraftKings. I would love to. That'd be a fun, unique World Series. I mean, last year it was Rangers over Diamondbacks, and no one would have predicted that before the season. So it's impossible to predict these things.
It just depends on matchups and what happens at the deadline. The only thing is, like we said, we don't know what's going to happen at the deadline.
We cannot predict the future, but hopefully we predicted these correctly, and hopefully we gave you guys some good prop picks as well, and award picks and all that stuff, because those are fun to follow throughout the course of the season.
Like I said, I would like. Can we do a prayer?
I don't know.
Can we hop off? Before we hop off?
Okay.
Okay, please put your hands in the front like this, forward.
Okay. Yeah.
We were playing for the baseball guys. I'd like to thank you, baseball guys, for giving us a pleasant off season. Finally, thank you to Scott Boris for getting all your free agents signed before opening day. Thank you to Rob Manfred for progressing the game this offseason and not doing anything stupid. Thank you, Fanatics, for providing good uniforms to wear during the season. And thank you to all the managers, all the players, all the wonderful wives, girlfriends, support staff that these players have to provide us a great season. And God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'm even more hyped for the season after that. That got me pumped up.
Our support staff, gotta blame it, the wives and girlfriends, support staff that allow us to have great seasons. I mean, it's Thursday. I'm gonna go quickly because we gotta get out of here. It's late. I haven't had dinner. I have a
Yeah.
headache. Cubs, Rangers, I'm watching.
Oh yeah.
San Francisco, San Diego, I'm watching. Toronto, Tampa, I'm watching. I'm definitely watching the Reds. Going to beat up on some Nats. Definitely going to watch. I'm interested in Tigers. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to watch all the games. Man. Like,
I'm watching everything. I'm watching everything.
Yeah.
And Friday night, baby, Apple TV Plus, Yankees versus Astros. In that 4K carat, 4K beautiful quality on Apple TV Plus.
Let's get it.
All right, man. I can't wait. Opening day is a day away at this point.
We're less than 48. We're like at 36 hours.
The marathon begins soon. Can't wait. Can't wait. Thank you for doing this pod. Thank you for previewing all these all the entire season, every aspect. I mean, we've previewed every single aspect of this season that we possibly could. So a lot of fun doing it. Hope we helped you guys get ready for the season. You got anything else before we get out on this fine Tuesday evening?
We'll be back Sunday night. I don't know if we'll be live Sunday, but we'll definitely be back Sunday night. Overreaction weekend for baseball.
Yes.
After 3 games of baseball, we will be making hot takes and looking like fools.
The takes will be flying on Sunday night after a weekend of baseball for sure. Thank you all for listening to this episode. We appreciate you very much. Please follow us on all of our socials, like, rate, review, all that stuff. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace out.